It is critical for the airport because safety is what the airport is all about. That is our first and foremost job, is to secure the traveling public.
With the Federal Aviation Administration present, ground broke today on the Guam International Airport Authority's multi-million-dollar instrument landing system. According to Executive Manager Mary Torres, the $5.8 million project will complement the runway expansion.
The instrument landing system is also a complement to our expanded runway. And like I had mentioned previously, it's what will bring finality to the project. So it's that much closer to realizing trans-Pacific travel for Guam.
Torres says the project is expected to take 14 months to complete, which means they're looking at a February 2013 target date. Meanwhile, Airport Board Chairman Michael Ysrael says having longer runways is consistent with the airline industry's emergence of fuel-efficient airplanes. He says 3 types of aircraft need longer runways, but in particular, the 747 and 787 models are targeted for Guam.
By having a very, very fuel-efficient airplane like a 787 coming to Guam, it can then make the long jump from Guam straight to San Francisco or Los Angeles. Currently, right now, our planes actually only fly up to either, the longest one is to Hawaii at 7.5 hours versus 13 hours all the way to Los Angeles or San Francisco.
Ysrael mentions the ILS is a state-of-the-art guidance system, and while the airport had one geared to their shorter runway, it's now time to update that system to fit their expanded runway.
The ILS is an additional tool to help enhance our safety. So it's sort of the state of the art. The ILS is it guides the pilot in as he lines up on the airport coming into Guam, without having to be. He may not be familiar with all the landmarks of Guam, and so it will tell him exactly when he's too high or too low, and whether he's in the right place or not.
The ILS groundbreaking comes as the FAA is in the middle of inspecting the Guam airport, which happens frequently. Airport Chief Engineer Victor Cruz mentions the FAA isn't only here to inspect their ILS update.
So they'll come here and they'll check the ILS system, they'll check our striping on the airfield, make sure we're keeping it up to par. They'll check all the nav aids, and they'll just check generally our safety record as far as being compliant.
Cruz adds the instrument landing system is part of the last phase of improvement on the overall runway expansion project, but he hints that there's more ahead.
We're going to go back and do some other improvements to rehabilitate the pavement, the middle section from the extensions. We're going to be rehabilitating the pavement to strengthen them and make it that much safer for the aircrafts to land and travel on.